What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Everything is good. The closed caption was in Spanish, and I still. What are y'all talking about? What closed caption? Jason 18 says the Super Bowl was horrible. The whole thing. It was. Oh, you talking about the Super Bowl, K. Cooper? Got you. What up, OG Rihanna? It was amazing, and Lady Gaga did her thing too. Anyone who thinks otherwise is on some weird stuff. Sure, it was in all Spanish, but that's why the closed caption is an option for all TVs now. So y'all was supposed to watch the Super Bowl in closed caption? Bring it to Ricky Martin out. Let's see what else y'all talking about. His message was basically America isn't all white and got the right wing mad. I enjoyed the statement during the Super Bowl, although I have no clue as to what was said. Y'all see what C Breezy said. We need him at the helm of the Super Bowl. What did C Breezy say? So all of y'all were tuned into the Super Bowl yesterday, apparently. All right, let me get what y'all thoughts are. What did y'all think about the Super Bowl yesterday? It was boring, but I won $1,000. All right, K. Marie, I like that. I like that. Not watching an American sport halftime show and closed captions, that's insane. Agreed. I was real sitting, didn't watch. Boring, trash. It was trash. It was mid, says Renee Love. Didn't watch it. I mean, Thursday night football. Trash, too easy. The running back won the MVP. Didn't watch it. Halftime show was trash. And the game. Caught the highlights. Didn't watch. I was watching the Cat Williams interview. Well, big boy, I did see him drop that. Worst in history. Halftime was trash, but the game was subpar. I watched TPUSA. All right, well, let's talk about that for a second because let me give you what I was doing all weekend. First of all, before we get into it, and I got to tap in with the Cash Apps and the people that support the platform. For me personally, I didn't watch it. My entire weekend, I was locked in, to be honest with you. I met up with My realtor, which I'm gonna show y'all tonight, because we're gonna do block club tonight. So tonight at 9 p.m. we doing block club. The Q show has moved over to Wednesday, so we got some moving around, and we basically gearing up so that we can hit it all year. All right. I met with my realtor. I'm gonna show y'all the checks. I'm gonna show y'all the lease. I'm gonna show y'all the final payments. I'm gonna show y'all everything, right? So I'm gonna show y'all what that is, and then I'm gonna also give y'all some insight on the new projects that I'm working on from a real estate perspective, because I like to be super transparent. That way, you guys can learn from my mistakes. You can capitalize off of my successes, and then we can be absolutely awesome. So, no, Loso's way. We're not gonna do the new show tonight. We're still gearing up for that. So I'm still preparing for that. I want it to be perfect when I launch it. But we are doing a block club on Patreon. So if you are not a Patreon member, if you are not a bag chaser, if you are not a person that's willing to run it up and ready to go in the direction of your peers, that's also doing great things, then you need to tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right. K Marie says, yeah, because I was looking for the Millionaire Morning Show on Saturday. I was so bored at work. K Marie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was working. Like I was just locked in. Part of what I was doing, let me give you a little bit of what I was doing. So I met with my realtor, took care of business. We working on Corey Bowie, who was the guy that I talked to, not this last Friday, but the Friday before last. We working on getting his YouTube page up, because I promised to do that. I'm working on a new YouTube channel. So I can't give you the details yet, but it's going to be absolutely awesome. So I got a new channel coming out. And I wrote the frameworks of a script for a movie that I want to shoot over the next year. So one of the things that was on my bucket list is to get into a bigger industry. And I want to start writing, making, and shooting my own movies, putting up my own money. We don't do no financing. We don't do no outside financing. So I wrote a script. Yep. I wrote the frameworks for a script. And over the next couple of months, I want to put the polish on the script. And I am putting together a budget for shooting a movie. And I want to try to do it for under $1 million. And then I'm going to go from there. That's it. That's what I've been doing. I was working on a script. I was working on a new YouTube channel. I was working on other YouTube channels. I was working on my own stuff. I was working on stuff for the Patreon. So we got a Patreon live stream tonight. And we gotta stay focused. Kay Cooper says the haters stay making videos on you. Well, that's good. That's not a bad thing. Like, listen, my goal is to continue to grow and continue to push. My goal is to continue to become more successful. I can't spend my time focused on what everybody else is saying. I have to spend all of my time focused on what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? So if you are a part of the Patreon, tap into the Bag Chasers tonight. We got a lot that we got going on, but I'm just locked in, bro. Like, I ain't going out right now because it's a season for everything. And that's the thing that people have to understand. It's seasons for everything. It's a season for balling. It's a season for visibility. And then it's a season to lock in and just get all of the money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm working on. Working on growth, working on movies, working on more things, and taking care of business. Let me read some of these super chats and cash apps, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. All right. I've been locked in. Shout out to Maestro says, oh no, I already read that one. Shout out to Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude. Mike That Dude is in the building. I appreciate you. I also want to say shout out to John Teal. He said this is for the collection plate. Thank you, John Teal. Strick Mufasa says, have you heard about C. Holcomb Iceland trip? I haven't. And even if I did, I wouldn't mention it. Even if I did, I wouldn't mention it. Listen. This is my life philosophy. This is what my life philosophy is. All right. Well, first of all, shout out to everybody that switched up because they wanted clout and they picked the wrong side and didn't even realize that they picked the wrong side. Now you got to go back to streaming with 60 and 70 viewers. Now you got to go back to being regular. And you picked the wrong side. And you was on the wrong side of history. Congratulations, you played yourself. You really did play yourself. So we're going to get on that. Secondly, my life philosophy is this. My life philosophy is this. When it's online stuff and when it's content creator stuff and when it's internet stuff, I go back and forth with people. When it's real beef and when I really don't like you, I don't have anything else to say. I don't have nothing else to say. I'm over it. I'm done with it. God bless him. I hope everything work out well for everybody. And I'm moving on. I got other stuff and bigger fish to fry. So that's what I'm kind of on. I'm not on none of that. I don't really care about what happens over there anymore. Chris Cunningham says, I want to say thank you for giving us game on private insurance. I got some yesterday. Congratulations. Shout out to Chris Cunningham. I'm relatively new to your channel, says Sunshine. And I want to let you know you have opened my eyes and heart to many things. Thanks for all that you do for this community. God bless you, man. I'm so glad that you're here. Make sure that you tapped into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Bitcoin Brown says, what up, AD and the Chasers? Looking forward to connecting on site developments. That's a bet. That's a bet. Markiplier hit it big on indie movie scene. But see, that's what I'm saying, though. I can come back and I can play in the mud for a little bit, but the people that I'm paying attention to in the industry and the culture that I'm really viewing, they not having the same conversations that we having over here. They don't have the same conversations that they have in the mud. Mud is cool when you want to be amused, but then you have to start paying attention to the people that's running up a bag. And so I've been able to successfully navigate between both. I spend a little bit of time on the mud, and then I'm going to spend 85% of my time understanding and focusing on what people are doing that's really running up a bag. And Markiplier, he just broke the code. He literally broke the code. He was the first through the door. And so now that's the light bulb moment for me. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to sit here and keep on playing in the mud when it's a whole bunch of stuff over there that I need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? We still building houses. We still running up the bag on real estate. We still taking care of business. We can't miss on our drops and our uploads. And so I was honestly, I was talking to Yakar yesterday. And so we were mapping it out, right? Because I was mapping out what the goals were and what we're going to work on and what the new goals are and what we're preparing for and how we're going to take the other channels to the next level and who we're going to promote and who we need to hire and what we need to do. And we was talking for about 15 minutes and 15, 20 minutes. And we were just mapping it out. And we don't have time to spend an extraordinary amount of time outside of the month that we control the internet, focusing on not controlling the internet in the future. We already won that. Now we got to get to the new thing. You know what I'm saying? That was low-hanging fruit. Coach, and don't worry about it. We still on that. Coach Chris has 80 thoughts about Trump's post. I spoke on that last week. I spoke on that on Friday, I think. I spoke on that on Friday. Coach Chris says, and I think I might have got that a little bit wrong, to be honest with you, but maybe we'll get to that today. Coach Chris says, keep grinding. Don't worry about other people in podcasts. We rock with you regardless. Always a bag chasing, homie. Love you, big dog. Love you too, Coach Chris. Tone Scone says, what up, time dog? That other stuff was crazy. Link the movie auditions in the Patreon concert. We're going to talk about it. Low Black Duck says, him attacking him proved your observations that bro don't have the capacity to navigate these YouTube streets as accurate. Shout out to Little Black Duck. T.I. called out 50 Cent for verses, but 50 wanted to diss T.I. on social media. For that dude is something else. Shout out to T.S. Car Wash and Detail Service. Anton, would you ever buy a multi-unit apartment like Grant Cardone? I wouldn't do it like Grant did it. Grant has a different investment philosophy. Grant is much more successful than I am. Probably is much more successful than I will ever be. My thing is not about money as much. Money matters, but money is not the primary focus. My thing is about blueprint ownership and giving people insight on how they can do it themselves. So I don't believe in financing. It's nothing wrong with financing, but and under normal circumstances, I would do it, but I want to make sure that people understand that you don't have to be in debt in order to do anything, because I think we have the wrong perception. So what I've been doing is completely off the cuff and completely different from what everybody else is doing. So would I ever do it like Grant Cardone? No, I wouldn't do it like Grant Cardone. Am I doing it? Yes, I'm building my own from scratch. And so my goal is to tell people and teach people, don't sell your stuff. Stop giving your stuff away. Stop thinking that money is the end all be all. You can have the money, but you can also make sure that you own the asset forever. We need to truly understand what it means to pass down an asset to your kids and your grandkids. My goal is different than what everybody else's goal is. My goal is not to make $50 billion. My goal is to make $100 million, but to make sure that I control all of the assets also, and to show other people that this is how you need to do it. Does that make sense? You saw Joe Budden's response to him and Jason Lee. I did. Shout out to Joe. I love Joe. I think that Joe is the podfather. I've been watching Joe since way, way back in. He was doing it when it wasn't popular. I think that Joe is dope, and I did see the response. I did. All right. You said I thought the goal was 30 million. Yeah, that's changed. Because we talk about net worth now. And so when you talk about net worth, it's a little bit different. It's a little different now. Y'all ready to run up the show? All right, we got all of the super chats. Let's first start off with this halftime show. Let me read this last one. Selfmade Forever says Moses the Black 50 Cent new movie was pulled from theaters. Hope y'all talk about it on Frame Fights. Was it? Well, okay, so let me I don't know nothing about that, but I'm gonna have to dig into it. Somebody said 100 million is great, AD. Okay, well, here's the thing, Stan. This is the reason why I said 100 million. All right. Is if I shoot for 100, maybe I'll hit 50. Does that make sense? Because usually when you shoot for something, you don't necessarily hit it unless you just catch a crazy wave. But if you actually shoot for 100, maybe you will hit 50. So the goal is to shoot for 100, and then maybe you will hit 50. If you hit 40, you still won. Does that make sense? That's my mindset with the whole thing. All right, y'all. Let me talk about this. So the halftime show it was playing, the game was playing in the background for me personally. The game was playing in the background a little bit, but I was working. Honestly, I was working on my computer. And when it started to become a distraction because it was too loud and I couldn't focus as much as I wanted to, I turned it off. Plus, one of the reasons why I refused to watch the halftime show, I had already said this, was because I don't support people that's against the United States of America. Why would I listen? Listen, I don't stand for stuff like that. And when I say I'm not rocking with something, I'm not rocking with it. I'm not the type of person to say, oh man, I don't like it, but I'm going to still watch it. That's not the type of person that I am. I'm not about to watch the halftime show for somebody that's adamantly against the president of the United States of America, in which I support. Somebody says, I don't think he's against the United States of America. I disagree. I disagree. And the reason that I disagree is because he's against the thing that we voted for our president to do. So, how can you not be against the United States of America if you are against the thing that our president is standing for? If we voted for the president to do X and you stand against it, but then we still give you a bag so that you can profit from it, I don't agree with that. Because you couldn't go over to another country and pull the same stunt. See, they can do that here. We can't do that there. You would get ran out the building if you disrespected their president, if you disrespected their country, if you disrespected their culture, because they stand on it. They stand on it. You can't go into other countries. I don't care how rich they are, how poor they are. You can't go into other countries and disrespect what they are doing, whether you agree with it or not, and still be able to get a bag from it. Christopher says my logic is flawed. How is my logic flawed? If I believe, okay, all right, so let me ask you another question then. No, that might be a little too deep for you. He says, is his right though? I don't care. Listen, nobody is saying that they can't do what they did because they did it. I'm saying that I don't have to be a part of it. I don't know how y'all missing that. Y'all such followers. Y'all are so weak. You know, it's funny because we were having this conversation. I was looking at Angry Man. Shout out to Angry Man. And Angry Man made an analogy the other day, right? And he did a live stream and I watched it because I was on the Stairmaster and I was watching it. So I needed something to keep me occupied. And I was listening to Angry Man. And Angry Man made a very interesting assessment. And I thought it was marvelous. And he said he brought back this whole Obama situation where everybody was outraged at the whole monkey situation, right? And I understood it from both sides. On one side, people were saying, well, that's not really what he meant, and that wasn't his purpose of it. He was talking about voter fraud. And on the other side, people were offended because they said, well, but you're still the president of the United States of America. You need to be able to vet this because you have more responsibility on your shoulders. And then you have the extreme before two sides. But those are the two reasonable arguments on both sides, right? And I was listening to Angry Man, and Angry Man said, you know, it's all fake outrage. And I got curious, right? And so it piqued my interest. So I started listening to him a little bit deeper. And he said, it's fake outrage. And he said, the reason why it's fake outrage, and he used a very interesting example. He used me, right? He said, the same people, the very same people, he said he even seen some of it in people's chats. He said the same people that justified my family being talked about and being depicted as that are the same people that are defending that it's okay for it to happen on that. Angry Man made a very interesting analysis. He said the same people that are okay because they don't care for me that it happens to me are the same liberals that love Obama, and so they were offended when Trump did it. And so it doesn't matter whether, it's not supposed to matter if you like the person or you dislike the person. Wrong is wrong and right is right. So how do you then justify it on one side, but then get offended on it with the other side? And what it means is that we're biased. We're biased depending on who we actually agree with or who we disagree with, which is one of the reasons why Black people have no power, is because they don't stand on anything. Everything is based off of emotion. Everything is based off of how you feel. If you're going to be this way on this thing, objectively, you have to be consistent across the board. Now, we all have a level of bias and we all have a level of hypocrisy, because we're going to bend the rules slightly for what we like and what we don't like. But that's only supposed to be applicable to people that you know in real life. That's not supposed to be applicable to people that you've never met before. So if depicting somebody as an ape is wrong on one side, then it has to be wrong on the other side, despite who you like or who you dislike. But we'll justify it, and we'll use every reason imaginable to do so, because it depends on how you feel at the time. And it doesn't matter whether you agree with me or disagree with me. You know I'm right. I'm right. So you can't get outraged on one side and then not get outraged at the other side because you don't necessarily care for, or you care for another person. Oh man, but he didn't. Oh man, but it's all fake. It's all fake. It's all fake. It's fake 10 times out of 10. He's not against the USA. His whole performance was about unity. I'm not going to unify with somebody that is here illegally. Would you unify with a pedophile? Would you unify with a murderer? Would you unify with a killer? Would you unify with somebody that's trying to tear your family apart? Would you unify with somebody that's committing fraud with your tax dollars? Would you unify with people that skip the line and then take over opportunities from people that deserve it? Would you unify with a politician that gives the money that was supposed to be allocated for your community over to somebody that is illegal just so they can stay in power? This is not about unity. This is about drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is what we stand for. And if you want to do what it is that we do over here, then this is the way we operate. Stop preaching this unity nonsense to me. I don't have to unify with anybody. All I have to do is the thing that's in the best interest of the people that's in the United States of America. And what it showed was that we are weak. But I heard that TPUSA also had a concert, and I didn't even realize this until this morning when I started paying attention to what was going on in the news and seeing what's happening. I heard Turning Point USA actually had a concert that was 10 times better, and it was showed by millions on TV.
Say the Super Bowl culture clash, 2 halftime shows, 2 very different visions of America, and 1 massive audience watching it all play out. The NFL handing its halftime stage to Bad Bunny, we just talked about it, an artist who has repeatedly made anti-ICE remarks and openly criticized U.S. immigration enforcement. The decision sparking backlash from critics saying this isn't just entertainment, it's a political message on America's biggest stage. In response, Turning Point USA rolled out their star-studded all-American halftime show featuring patriotic themes, conservative voices too. Watch.
The artists that have teamed up with us, I just want to say thank you to them. It's very brave of them to do this. It's powerful because what Charlie always loved and knew is that he wanted to be in the forefront of the culture war. And what better way to honor him than just to get in the middle of this and be able to offer an alternative to families. That's the thing that's so beautiful about Turning Point USA and all of our programs.
And joining us is Turning Point USA spokesperson Andrew Colvett.
The hate on Erica Kirk is so forced, bro. It's so forced, in my opinion. The hate against this woman is so forced. She literally has done nothing to nobody whatsoever. And it just shows you how weak we are as a culture, how weak we are as a society, and how it depends on who's against you at the time. That could then turn people's perspectives for you or against you. The hate on Erica Kirk is so forced, bro. It's so forced. They went from, oh man, I can't believe this happened to her husband, to now she's the villain. And this is one of the reasons that we protect women and children. This is one of the reasons why we keep women and children out of the spotlight, because we want to preserve their innocence. Mario Stanfield says she's not who you think she is. And you know her? How do you know? 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 How do any of us know? I don't feel any way towards her. That's the difference. I don't feel one way or another towards anybody. I look at what it is that they're doing and I comment on that specifically. I don't know her, and neither do you. The only thing that we can make an assessment off of is what they do in real time, and we go off of that. How are y'all making an assessment off of somebody that you don't know? How do y'all know these people? We have to make our own individual minds up. We cannot continue to let people influence you to think anyway. Come on, man. I tell y'all that y'all have to make your own assessments based off of your own experiences. Do you know that that is the reason why I apologize to Fresh? That's the reason that I apologize to Fresh. The reason that I apologize to Fresh for Fresh and Fit is because when I met him, he was a completely different person than what the internet said that he is. And so we let this internet, we let these cameras, we let this shit get us confused, man. Nah, I don't have to move on. We can disagree and we're going to still be friends at the end of the day. We can disagree and we can be friends at the end of the day. Listen, you said even Myron agrees. I don't agree with everything that Myron says. I agree with some things that he say. I disagree with some things that he say. That's my homie. But just because somebody else says it don't mean that I have to jump on the board. I'm so heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken at y'all. I really am. I really am. I don't believe in this at all. I don't believe in none of this stuff that we got going on. I'm so.
With Turning Point USA hosting their own alternative halftime performance, the show drawing in more than 10 million live viewers and more than 25 million views on social media platforms. The Turning Point team also dedicated those performances to the life of Charlie Kirk.
Welcome to the Turning Point USA.
Somebody says we right. Sometimes you got to listen to us. No. Nope. I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to come up with my own conclusions. If I care enough about a person to make an assessment of them, going forward, for me personally, going forward, I'm not taking anybody's word for anything. If I've learned anything over the last 2 years, is that I am not going to pick sides off of what everybody else says. I'm going to do my own research, and I'm going to find out exactly how I feel about the situation. I'm no bandwagoner. I'm nobody's sucker. I am not going to take anybody's word for it. I am going to do my own research, and I'm going to come up to my own conclusion. I'm not depending on nobody or what anybody says on the internet for me to make my own assessment. That's how I'm moving going forward. I'm my own person, I'm my own man, and I got my own mind, and I'm not listening to nobody when it comes to how they feel about another person. I'm going to go and do my own research going forward.
All-American halftime show, and this one's for you, Charlie.
Independent journalist Elvita Duffy Alfonso joins me now. Elvita, great to see you. What did you think about the halftime show and the importance of it?
Listen, the halftime show, the TPUSA halftime show, was an incredible celebration of American cultural identity, but also our values. You saw Kid Rock literally spreading through his music the gospel during the TPUSA halftime show. It was beautiful. The dedication to Charlie Kirk made me quite literally tear up. And they only had a couple months to put this together, Carly. Had they had the whole year like the NFL, can you imagine what they could have done? And so I hope they do it again next year. I think with the time to put together a venue and artists, I mean, it's going to be even more spectacular. And if I could just add this, the founding fathers, when they first created a national motto, it was "E pluribus unum," which means in Latin, "out of many, one," and meaning that they understood the unifying importance of having a country where we all can come around and share a cultural identity together. Mm-hmm. And that's what I felt like the TPUSA halftime show really celebrated. We hear a lot today about diversity is our strength, multiculturalism, divisiveness. That was not this halftime show. It was truly beautiful. It was wonderful, and it was a perfect celebration of America 250.
It was certainly unifying. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And your wish is about to come true when it comes to next year. Here's Andrew Colvett on an announcement for the future. Watch this.
We're going to do another halftime show for the country next year. So I'm breaking a little news here, Brian. 20 million at very minimum. People are paying attention. And, you know, if you give us a year to plan this thing, I'm really excited to see what we can pull off. But we got to do it for the country. And this was a massive success, and we were grateful to do it.
Skylar Jones says, Anton, did you even watch the TP halftime show in its entirety? I didn't watch it at all. I didn't watch the NFL halftime show with Bad Bunny. I did not watch the Turning Point halftime show at all. Honestly, and this is the honest to God truth, I was working. I was working on the upcoming live stream that we got happening tonight for the Bag Chasers. And so we got a 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Bag Chasers block club tonight. That's what I was working on. And when I woke up this morning so that I can assess what was going on in the culture, then I realized, I didn't even realize that Turning Point USA had a halftime show until I woke up this morning. So I'll go and check it out, and I'll probably add it as a subject for us to talk about tomorrow on After Hours. But no, I did not watch it. I didn't watch either one of them. But I also can appreciate that people having options. I like the fact that people have an option, that they can watch between the Turning Point USA show, or they can watch between the other halftime show. I like the fact that people have options to go and watch what they want to watch. But I wasn't checking for none of this because I was too busy working, bro. When everybody else was doing whatever they was doing, and I respect everybody's option to do what they want to do, I was focused on working. Don't even care. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let me tell you why I love you guys, why I love my chat, and why I love talking to you guys every single morning. The reason why I like talking to you guys is because you guys can respectfully disagree or agree with me, and then we move on to the next subject, and then we get a fresh slate, and then we get to disagree or agree in the next subject. That's why I like y'all, is because y'all love me, y'all hold me down, y'all rock with me, but y'all have your own opinion, whether I agree with it or disagree with it, and I get frustrated at y'all, and y'all get frustrated at me. But that's why I love y'all, because as long as you're not saying something egregious, we with it. We with it. We don't, and that's the thing that people misunderstand about the bag chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. That's the thing that people misunderstand about the bag chasers, is that we disagree with each other, but we united when it comes to the ops. We could disagree in the house, or we gonna rumble. We gonna disagree. You gonna have your opinion, I'm gonna have my opinion, and we gonna argue, we gonna fight. But when we leave here, as far as to everybody else, they can't talk about y'all though. I dare them to say something about you. I'll crash out for the chasers. I crash out for the chasers. Oh, we not yes men in here amongst each other. But I wish somebody would. I will. I get emotional, honestly. If I see somebody talk about somebody that's in the chasers, I get emotional, bro, because I don't play that. I don't. Y'all family to me, and family can fight with each other, but you can't say nothing about them. I crash out over my people. And y'all just disagree with me. Y'all be disagreeing with me. Y'all be disagreeing with me like a mug, but whatever. We got the Bag Chaser meetup tonight on Patreon. We live streaming. I'm going to give you everything that I have from a real estate perspective up to date. I'm going to allow for y'all to ask me anything y'all want to ask me. And we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. All right? All right, let me read some of these super chats. We're going to get over to the next part of the show. V. Nicole says over 5 million people tuned into Turning Point USA, which was unexpected. Do you think that means anything? They were only expecting maybe 1 million streams. I think it means that, let me tell you what I think it means, V. Nicole. I think it means that people are thirsty for an alternative to this demonic, devilish stuff. I believe that, listen. You know what our problem is, V. Nicole? Our problem is that we think that whatever is being promoted or whatever it seems to be popular is what the majority of the people want. And we're wrong. If anybody has proved you wrong, not you specifically, V. Nicole, but has proved the culture wrong, is me. Think about it. Of all of the people that say that they hate me, and you're going to get, let's say you get a bunch of live streamers that say, oh my God, look at Anton, I can't believe it. And they come up with different rumors and different narratives and all this stuff, right? I control Black YouTube. If the culture is what people, because see, I have a ton of people that rock with me that don't necessarily have to be as visible. I got the biggest Patreon outside of Joe Budden and maybe a couple other people. I got the biggest Patreon. I got more bag chasers. I have more subscribers. I do more views, and I got more support than any of them. So here's the question that you have to ask yourself. Is there a silent minority or majority that actually is looking for something different? Because it's not about what you think is popular. What matters is the truth. And I think more people are interested in the truth than they are interested in being popular, or they are interested in being go along, get alongs. Or that even when people discover me, sometimes people discover me and say, man, I hated you. Why? But you know what? I thought about what you said. I'm trying to tell you that people are hungry. They hungry for the truth. They hungry for growth. They hungry for people tired. People are tired of the BS. They tired of the finessing. They tired of people telling them what they want to hear. They're tired of just the lies and the demonic worshiping, and people tired of the Super Bowl. You know what? Do you know why people tune into the Super Bowl? Because they just used to tuning into the Super Bowl. I had people hit me up, said, "Hey man, you watching the Super Bowl?" I said, "Nah, I'm just kind of working. I ain't really interested." They said, "Yeah, me neither." So people are waiting for somebody to say, "I'm not interested in looking at the Super Bowl." People are waiting on somebody to say, "Hey man, let's do something different." Some people only watch it because everybody else is watching it, or because that is what they're expected to do. People are waiting for an alternative. They waiting to break out. They waiting for somebody to say something different. They waiting on somebody to tell you the truth. They waiting on somebody to tell you, "Hey man, that's not really cool over there." They only doing it because they've been doing it. "Hey man, we going to the Super Bowl halftime party." At some point, you'd be like, "Well, you know what? That's not really fun to me anymore. It's not really fun to me anymore." And the minute that somebody says, "You know what? I'm breaking away from the plantation," everybody gonna say, "Oh, what? Why are they breaking away from the plantation?" You said the Super Bowl could be like the club. At what point do you get tired of going to the club? I don't want to go to the club no more. I know that we've been doing it for a long time just because that's what we do, but I actually want to go and take a nap. And I want to go and walk in the park. I don't want to drink today. I don't want to talk about other people today. Like at some point you retreat and you say, "You know what? I want to do something different." I woke up the other day, probably like a week ago, and I've been kind of going back and forth with this because I was talking to my daughter about it. I said, "I don't really care about stuff no more." And just to make sure that I'm not going through a phase, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna take all of my watches and I'm gonna have my daughter take them from me, and I'm gonna see what it feels like to not have all of my watches." And I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, I just don't care. I don't care about the same things that other people care about. I care about architecture. I care about building. I care about building houses. I like putting people in homes. I like doing community service. I like doing all of that stuff. It's like, I don't care about the same things that I used to care about. How many watches, how many cars, at what point it's like, and it's nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. I think that people should get it and do whatever it is that they want to do as long as they work for it and they're not finessing for it. But at some point, it's like, I don't really care. Like, how many basketball games? Man, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of basketball games sitting courtside. I had to take a break from it just because it was like, I don't get nothing out of it no more. I want to write scripts. I want to shoot movies. I want to change lives. I want to buy up whole neighborhoods. I want to impact people in a positive way. I want to bring people on my platform and interview them, not because they're popular or not because they said hoes ain't shit, but trolls and tricks. I want to interview people because I want to understand their legacy. I was talking to Tasha K, and I said, "Yep, I did your interview. Now you about to do mine." And so we cracking up. And she said, "What we gonna talk about?" And I said, "I want to learn who you are. Like, I want to know how you came to be who you are. I'm not interested in the other stuff. I just don't care. I don't care about the same things that I used to care about now." Some people say, "Oh man, I don't like Tasha." Well, that's the exact reason why I want to interview her, is because you said that you didn't like her. So I want to understand, what is it about her that you don't care for, because I want to find out for myself. A Dunn says, "That's still crazy that Anton gave Tasha the time of day after Tasha trashed Anton 8 months ago." Well, it's crazy that Fresh and Fit gave me the time of day after I had trashed them several years ago. How is it any different? Just because somebody says something negative about me, that means that I can't understand and want to meet them in real life so that I can better understand. The same way that somebody gave me the opportunity to make it right, now I gave them the opportunity to make it right. How is it any different? How is it any different? Maybe she a different person when it comes to me. Maybe she got a different perspective. Maybe because we had never met each other, she don't understand me or I didn't understand her. I want to see what it is for myself. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, going forward, I want to see for myself. I'm not interested in what now. If I meet somebody and it go that other way, like it had went that other way with another situation, then it's up. Now I know what it is. Now I know what's really going on, and so we can figure that out. But if I meet somebody and it's not what I thought it was because we had a misunderstanding of what it is, and we really just about that money, okay, cool. And we, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go from there. I wanna figure it out for myself. Somebody says, Anton, you should do a collab with Darlene. Let me tell you why I would never do something like that. Is because I don't involve people that are not a part of the situation into the situation. I don't play by the same rules as everybody else. I don't play by the same rules as everybody else. I respect her too much. Listen, I met Darlene in real life. I had a conversation with her in real life. She was a genuine good person and she had good energy, and I absolutely loved everything that we had a conversation about. I am not about to disrespect Darlene or use her as a pawn in order to go after somebody else. I have nothing to say negative about her whatsoever. I met her in real life. I'm not going to use her as a pawn to try to get at somebody else. That's not how I do things. I don't move like that. She was a genuinely good person, and what I got going on has nothing to do with what she got going on. She was good people. As far as what I interacted with her, she was a good person. So I'm not about to I don't have nothing to say about her. I'm not about to do a live stream, see this, what I don't do that shit. Listen. I am a different person today than I was yesterday. My goal is to become better every single day. My goal is to become better every single day. Has nothing to do with me whatsoever. Let me leave that alone. All right. Y'all ready to continue on? Y'all ready to continue on with the show? I want to talk about, it was something else that happened. Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. So they've released exactly how much they wanted, and they said they wanted $6 million. 6 million. 6 M's. Let me see.
The second deadline from an apparent ransom note quickly approaching. It's set for today at 5 p.m. We are learning new details about what is in that note. Guthrie's purported abductor is demanding $6 million in Bitcoin and threatening to kill her if the demand is not met. That's according to a CNN affiliate. Investigators returned to the scene Sunday, searching Guthrie's property, including a septic tank near her home. Police still have not identified a suspect. So we're bringing in now Ken Gray. He's a former FBI special agent. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Aldi. Good to be with you.
First, I want to talk about the latest video. People are looking at the turns of phrase. Among this, a plea so that they can celebrate with their mother. Can you talk about how these videos are supposed to help in these situations?
Sure. So the two videos were quite different. The first one seemed to be trying to convince the kidnapper that their mother was a person, that they encouraged them to talk to her, trying to ensure that her safety was taken care of by the kidnapper. The second video, on the other hand, was quite different in that it was much shorter, much more to the point. We'll pay, our mother's return is important to us, and we want to celebrate with her. You know, very, very different in its tone and nature. The interesting thing here about this is also that the communication from the kidnapper was not an email. Instead, we learned that this communication came by way of a complaint form or a tips line form going into the television station over its website. And so that's interesting in that that's why we're not seeing investigative steps that will be able to locate the kidnapper through tracking emails.
I'm glad you're bringing that up because we had one of our voices on air, Josh Campbell, who had some criticism about how this is being handled. Here he is.
I've worked kidnapping cases where if there is an actual line of communication that is set up, that is treated sensitively, that is protected, that is not something that either the family nor the FBI crisis negotiators, for that matter, would actually be publicizing. And so the fact that we see this appeal, again, via social media tells us that they're essentially responding to the alleged abductor here via the medium that they have chosen.
Yo, if they asking for 6 M's, yo, how do they even know that they got $6 million to ask for in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody asking $6 million for a ransom is crazy to me. Who got $6 million just hanging around to be able to pay off a ransom? Who got $6 million? Savannah Guthrie salary. Oh, no wonder they asking for $6 million. Savannah Guthrie earns an estimated annual salary of approximately $8 million as a co-anchor of NBC's Today Show. With over a decade on the program, she is one of the highest paid morning news anchors, contributing to an estimated net worth of around $40 million in 2026. She a fucking target, bro. She a target. She's a target. That's what made her a target. That's what made her a target. The kidnappers did research and they said, who got the money? Who getting the money? Who got the bag? See, I would have never guessed this because I don't sit there and try to figure out how much money that news anchors make. Oh, no wonder. Because I'm thinking to myself, man, who got $6 million to just be given away? Because it's one thing, see, it's a difference between being net worth, because most people's assessment is based off of their net worth. It's not about how much money you got in the bank at all. It's a combination of your debts and your assets, your liabilities, all of that type of stuff. And so everything combined, it could say, okay, well, this makes me have an estimated net worth of $15 million, right? But that's because I got a house over here and 4 houses over there, and I may have a vacation property, and I got some cars, and I got some stocks, and I got some jewelry, and I got some Bitcoin, and I got all of these different things, right? And I got some watches, but this is not, I don't have $50,000. I may have a $50,000 watch, but I don't have $50,000. You know what I'm saying? You may have a $500,000 house, but that don't mean that you got a $500,000 in cash. You may have, collectively $600,000-$700,000 in cars, but that don't mean that you got $600,000-$700,000 liquid. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is not sitting on 6 million liquid. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say, if you got 6 million liquid, you a fool. Can you get the 6 M's? Okay, I'm with that. That means that you might have to sell some stock, move some stuff around, whatever. But if you got 6 million in cash hanging around, I think that that is the craziest thing ever. But they did their research on her. They realized that she has an approximate net worth, which you can't really go based off of the internet when it comes to net worth. None of that stuff is real. Nobody knows anybody's net worth. I don't care if you go to celebrity net worth or whatever, right? But if you got if you make it 8 M's a year, they're going to ask you for 6. They're going to ask her for 6. That's the reason why. That's the reason why they asking for 6. Because I'm like, how did they come up with 6? But this also makes me incredibly leery, though.
Can you talk about why you think that matters, or if it does?
So there is not two-way communication going on here. The kidnapper is broadcasting his demands. The family is going through social media responding to this, but you don't see an exchange of actual details between the two as you would if they were in direct communication. That causes communication problems, a lack of details. We don't get a sign of life. There was no answer to the request for a sign of life. The family has decided to go ahead, despite the fact that there is no sign of life here, the knowledge that Nancy is still alive. The family has decided to go ahead and pay the kidnapper for her return. That's somewhat unusual, but it's up to the family to make the decision whether or not they're going to pay a ransom and whether or not they're going to pay it, despite the fact that they don't have proof that their mother is still being held alive.
So I was looking at some comments, and some people were saying 6 million. There was some people that were saying that it was 8.5 million, right? And some people said 6 million. That's a little steep for the 84-year-old. Yeah, it's steep for an 84-year-old that you don't know. But I'll tell you this. I would pay 6 million to spend an extra year with my father. 100%. And I had a phenomenal relationship. And I know that some people just may not have that close of a relationship to people to where money means more than the time that you spend with people. I would pay $6 million to spend if I could get another year with my father, I would pay $6 million right now. I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't even blink. I would give every dime that I have to spend another year with my father without even blinking twice. I can get the money back. I could work and get some money. I don't care about money to where it's not being used as a tool. Man, listen, if you say, Anton, you got to start over. And you got to get it from scratch. I would give everything. $100%. What the fuck are we going to do with the money, bro? What is the money for if we can't use it for something that's meaningful? What you going to do? Buy another car? Take another vacation? Get another watch? Unfortunately, the kidnappers also probably understand this, and this is why they're asking for $6 million. Somebody says, but it's not guaranteed that they're going to get her back. Well, they have to make, that's the dilemma. All right, would you risk it for the possibility of being able to get her back? Would you risk it for the possibility of being able to get her back? Everybody have to make that assessment, but that also speaks to what you value in your life. Everybody would have to make that assessment, but that also speaks to what you value in your life. And so I think that is very, my prayers is up for the family. I really do feel bad for what's going on with the mother and everything like that. But gosh, this is probably one of the harshest things that a person could ever possibly go through outside of losing a child.
So the latest reporting from the purported ransom note is that the abductors are asking for $6 million in Bitcoin for Nancy Guthrie's return. Now, I know Bitcoin, the whole point of it is that it's not traceable, but I was reading you said that it is possible to recover Bitcoin in these situations. Help me understand.
So Bitcoin is something that is sometimes traceable in that it would be traceable if the person reused a Bitcoin address that had been used in a previous case. I don't think that's the case in this particular situation. And then you would have to actually be able to put your hands on the bad guy in this case, the kidnapper, to be able to recover these funds. So I don't think that this money, if it's paid, will be recoverable unless they actually identify the kidnapper and are able to go and actually physically arrest them. Normally in a kidnapping case, when you do the money delivery, the ransom delivery, that's an opportunity for law enforcement to move in on it. With Bitcoin, that opportunity is lost.
The first thing that I would do, I'm gonna be honest with you, because sometimes my emotions get the best of me. Whatever it is that I offer or whatever it is that I pay, I'm gonna have that extra. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I offer, it's gonna be half of whatever it is that I got. Let's say that somebody came to me and they said, Anton, give us $1 million for this. Okay, cool. But I'm gonna have another $1 million. And after it's over, whether I get them back or not, it's gonna be an M on your head. That's my philosophy. After all of this is done and we figure it out, and whether I'm grieving because I didn't get my person back, or whether I'm pissed off because you see me as a mark in the first place, I'm gonna put an M on your head. That now I'm mad and I'm gonna put an M on your head. That's what I would do. At some point, I'm like, all right, cool. Now that we didn't fix this situation, you're gonna have to run for the rest of your life because it's an M on your head. Real talk, because somebody got to die. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. Let me not say that. I'll take that back. That's my emotion speaking. Somebody got to be found out. Somebody has to be accountable for this. You're not just gonna go and get away, and that's the end of it. Whatever it is that you ask for is triple on your head. Triple on your head. Can't just take my mama and think that that's the end of it. You can't just take my mama and think that that's the end of it. I can't do it, bro. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. Ain't no way you can live to spend that money. Wipe your hole. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Prayers up for her. I hope they recover her back. Eric Harris says TPUSA halftime show did over 20 million views. Yeah, that's dope. That's really dope. Yo, it's Romy Rome. Dog. Bad Bunny is an American something. What you talking about? I don't know what that means. Bro, you judge every day. No, I give commentary and I give my opinion on what is presented in the media. Ebony says, I like the options as well. Hey, man, you going to have to, ain't you the one that I told you to get out of your emotions and take that cutoff sleeve shirt off? You know, hold on. Let me see if I can find that comment. When I see people with cutoff sleeves, right? This is something that I fervently believe. Hold on. Let me go back and see if I can find that comment. Give me a second. As I told you about wearing that outfit. Let's see if I can find that. I got to find that comment. Give me a second. What was that guy's name again? I'm going to find it. Give me a second. Because I unstarted. There you are. Yo, it's your boy, Romy Rome. Let me tell you something, bro. First of all, is that a jersey or is that a cutoff sleeve shirt? If it's a jersey, I'm going to give you a pass. If it's a jersey, I'm going to give you a pass. All right, it's a jersey, so I'm going to give you a pass. But you know what I usually say about people that wear cutoff sleeve shirts? When we used to hoop, you couldn't come with a pre-cutoff sleeve shirt. You had to have a shirt that was a regular T-shirt, and you had to cut the sleeves off. And there was a method to it. And I don't know if it just felt more comfortable, but I never believed in cutoff sleeve shirts that were pre-cut, like that came from the store as cutoff sleeves. I never understood that. That never made no sense to me. It just didn't look right. Like, hey man, this nigga, hey dog, you got the pre-cut? You a pre-cut off sleever? Nah. No real hooper ever had their sleeves pre-cut. You had to take a regular T-shirt. Yes, people bought pre-cut sleeves. You had to take a regular T-shirt and you cut but then when you cut it, a lot of times when you hooped, it came in a little bit more. So it went like this. It went like that. You got to cut your own sleeves. You can't pre-cut your sleeves. All right? So make sure that y'all, whenever you see somebody with a pre-cut sleeve shirt, know that nigga may be a serial killer or he may be a criminal. Yeah, got the long cuts on the sides. You know what it is, AR. Oh, and I don't know if you was just more aerodynamic or what, but you had to have you can't pre-cut your stuff. Let me see something real quick. Let me go back. Give me a second. Let me see something. Let me stop that. We don't need to get into that. No, we don't need to get into none of that. We don't need to get into none of that. Let's back up. We don't need to get into none of that. I feel like I lived 100 lives. Oh, man. I lived 100 lives. I've lived officially derailed. Yes, we are officially derailed. Let me see. Let me see something real quick. Oh my God, these old hoop videos. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm going to figure it out real quick. I just got to see something. I can't keep showing y'all all of the sauce. I can't keep showing y'all all of this. This is crazy. I'm looking up some of these old videos. I don't like this. I don't like it. We got to get back to the show. I can't keep getting derailed. I can't keep getting derailed. I can't do this. Let me get back to the show. I can't do it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I don't listen. I don't want to have you niggas getting schooled. That is the old church gym, so you know better, right? That's the old church gym. That's the old church gym. I don't want to have to lead it. I don't have to lead a forum up. You niggas can't hoop. Y'all can't hoop. Stop acting like you can hoop. You can't hoop. You can't hoop. Stop acting like you can hoop. You ain't even built like that. Why everybody used to ball at the church gym? Me and my dogs used to turn up at the church gym. Everybody, we hooped everywhere. Bring the ball up the court. Bringing the ball up the court. Who don't got it no more? I just was shooting at the NBA. Oh, the jumper is always going to be wet. The jumper is always going to be wet. Why y'all acting like the jumper ain't never going to be wet? The jumper is always going to be wet. Nothing is ever going to change about the jumper, bro. Don't got me distracted. Damn, I got some handles. I'm so good. I'm good at everything. All right, y'all. I don't have time for this. I got to get back to it. I like the options as well. I enjoyed both shows. Shout out to Ebony. Caramel Wonder says hair pulled back, Vaseline on the face, Tim's on the feet. We riding that dome. Facts. Bag chasers in the building. Classic Man Wiz says I stopped watching the Super Bowl right before halftime to attend Bible study phone call. I'm glad I chose God over entertainment. You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing. I just got to ask, Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico. He's an American. Shouldn't he be seen as just another liberal who is pushing his ideology? Maybe. Tiff Money. Shout out to Tiff Money. I like that name. Tiff Money with Whitney Houston on the cover photo. Good morning, AD. Please give a shout out to my son, Brendan. He's really admires you. He's homesick from school and wanted to say hi. What up, Brendan? All right, so let me ask you a question, Brendan. Are you really sick or are you just staying home from school? Either way, you made a smart decision. Shout out to Brendan. Shout out to Tiff Money. I love you, baby girl. LeBrock says, what's the over-under on an undocumented immigrant or immigrants kidnapped her? You know what? Never mind. I'll take the under. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says that's why they think it's a family member or someone close, because how they cut off heart monitor connector from the phone and cover all of the cameras. Man, they planned this a long time ago. Just Keeping It Real says, shout out to AD and the Bag Chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Whiskey Pierre Lewis says, Anton Shalom. Bitcoin is on a digital ledger. Every transaction is recorded. It is traceable, and to receive it or send it, you have to register yourself ID. With the long cuts on the side. Shout out to AR's back. JP the businessman says, they think they can take my mom and ride out in the sunset. I'm sorry. Everybody involved got to go, including the people that raised them. That's a fact. Or one can put up a legal amount for them to be found, says the Yeti. JP the businessman says, wait, Anton, you hoop for real? Yeah, I hoop for real. I've been hooping my entire life. High quality derailment, that's a fact. I played ball and, man, let me stop, bro. The Yeti says, not sure you can see my super chat before. You can put up a legal amount for their capture by the public or a tip that leads to it. That's a fact. That's a fact. I already showed y'all on a previous channel that wet jumper. I already showed y'all that. I'm not going to keep on going back and forth. We're not going to do none of that. I'm one take time and we get to it. All right. Let's see. We did that. We did that. All right, hold on. Let me see what else we doing. What else we talking about, y'all? Why am I so obsessed with hoop videos? Oh my God. Hold on. Time Dog is not messing around. Hold on. We got to go back. I forgot how great I was. And this is my after days. This is way after. This is me in my late 30s. Clear out, nigga. Shot. Nigga, y'all can't check me. Y'all can't check me. You couldn't check me if your life depended on it. You can't check me. Nigga, you can't check me. Nobody in here could check me. Can't nobody in this chat hold me, nigga. Ain't nobody in this chat holding me on the basketball court, and that's a fact. I don't give a fuck what you say. Ain't nobody, I challenge anybody right now. It ain't nobody in this chat that's holding me. Not on the basketball court. No, you not. Nigga, I want to see it. I'm clearing out every time. Every time I'm coming down the court, nigga, ISO. It's ISO. Every time I come down the court, I'm ISOing niggas. I'm ISOing everybody that come down the court. Clear out. Shot. See, they calling it. They see that said shot, nigga. Shot. Every time I put up the ball, it's in. Shot. Nigga, they can't nobody hold. Nobody is holding me. Nobody is holding me. Nobody is holding me on the basketball court. Get the kids out of the way. Get the babies out of the way. Nobody is holding me, bro. Quinn, you know you can't check me. Quinn can't check me. Slimmy can't check me. None of you niggas is checking me. Listen, this is what y'all are looking at that point is my retirement days. That's me in my late 30s. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it for exercise. I had got to the point to where I was going at 6 in the morning just to hoop with old timers at Lifetime. And so we would just be getting in exercise. We was just out there to make sure that we tried to stay in shape and that our knees didn't buckle. In my heyday, ain't none of you niggas stopping me. 19, 20 years old, that's old time. In my heyday, none of you niggas is holding me. I'm blazing the whole thing. Ain't no fucking body holding me. Nobody is holding me at all. I'm just telling you, niggas could say what. You ain't locking shit up. You ain't locking shit up. I'm good at everything. I'm good at everything in life. Everything in life, I'm good at. Now, let's get back to the show. We're not going to keep on getting distracted. Niggas acting like they could stop me, like they could hold Tom Dog. Who ain't nobody ever been able to hold me in life? Not at nothing. Not at money. Not at hooping. Not nothing. Not nothing. Nobody can hold me. What you talking about?
Isn't it true that you kept a calendar or schedule? Okay, check.
Turn off the video record at 1:05 p.m.
Mr. Epstein, how long have you been sexually attracted to underage minor females?
Objection, harassing, argumentative. Are you kidding?
No, I mean, I don't feel like I'm divulging any secrets here, right?
Move to strike.
No, that's the question.
I'd like to answer that question as well, like all your other questions today. However, I have to follow my attorney's advice. They have told me that I must invoke my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment right to not answer those questions today or any questions relevant to this lawsuit.
What was the name of any of the underage minors that were the subject of the criminal charges to which you pled guilty?
I don't know.
So tell me about those charges. What was the allegations of those charges?
Form.
Solicitation of prostitution.
Okay.
Not underage prostitution, prostitution.
Were the victims or the prostitutes, as you would say, were they minors?
Form.
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution.
Okay, so tell me what those cases were about. What happened?
I
Form
have
again.
no more. I can't tell you any more than that.
You don't know what you pled guilty to?
I just
I'm
told
going
you.
to object to form. That's asked and answered.
Do you know what you pled guilty to? The facts.
Solicitation of prostitution.
I understand that's the charge. What were the underlying facts?
Sorry.
What did you do? Did you pull up in a car, talk to the person? Did they come over to your house? How did you get them? Those kind of things. Tell the jury what were the underlying facts about the charge that you pled guilty to?
Form. Move to strike.
I don't know.
You don't know what you pled guilty to.
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution. Oh, not underage prostitution, but prostitution.
And just so the jury understands, these three females that were the subject of the guilty pleas in state court were procured by your method of having underage minor females locate other underage minor females and bring them to your house. Isn't that correct?
Objection. Argumentative. Compound. Harassing. Assumes facts not in evidence.
You'll have to
and I move
repeat.
to strike.
I have to repeat the question.
Okay. Are all people that were at the time you engaged in sexual activity with them were underage and were brought by other underage minor females? Is that true?
Same objections incorporated. As well as the motion to strike.
I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't even understand the question.
Isn't it true that you used underage minor females to bring other underage minor females to your house for sex?
Asked and answered. Way earlier on.
Oh, well, he doesn't understand the question, so I'm going through the progression.
Not a problem.
But it is asked and answered.
As your firm, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Jaffe, has been described by the U.S. Attorney as perpetrating one of the largest frauds in South Florida's history by crafting malicious cases of a sexual nature against people like me and others in order to fleece, using bogus schemes, in the U.S. Attorney's words, investment schemes. Unfortunately, though, I'd like to answer every one of your questions if I'm able. My attorneys have advised me I must assert my 6th Amendment, 14th Amendment, and 5th Amendment rights under the U.S. Constitution. Therefore, at the moment, I cannot answer that question.
Yo, this the more I go through this footage, because they say that they got another 3 million files that they may be releasing, right? The more that I go through this footage, the more I realize that the only reason that Epstein went down is because all of this became public. Who else do you keep upwards of 7 million files, 7 million files of video, evidence, emails, pictures, all of that, right? The only reason that Jeffrey Epstein went down is because it became public that he was the face of this whole thing that they had been running since the beginning of time. Bro, listen. Nigga, you and me and you, your mama and your cousin too, rolling down the strip on Vogues, coming up, selling Cadillac. Me and you, nigga, let a woman blink our way. Nigga, they gonna try to be burying us under the jail. Let a woman assume, bruh. Anton blinked my way. Sorry, put your hands behind your back. Nigga, we would be under the jail immediately. You know what I mean? Listen, they had 7 million, upwards of 7 million files on this nigga, and they went after Diddy. $7 million? How do you get 7 million? Bro, how do you get 7 million files on people and you only arrest 2? When they become public, him and Ghislaine Maxwell. How? How? You got a network. It's sprawling. Nigga, they'll go after the mafia. They'll go after me and you. They be in the hood with the drug dealers taking niggas down for scheming and scamming. They be catching niggas for unemployment insurance fraud. And he was walking around he lived a good life. Let me see something. Epstein age when he passed. He was 66. Most dope boys be gone before they 30. They have felonies on their record by the time that they turn 22. He was 66. He lived a good life. Bro, some of us don't even make it to 66 just because we dealing with the wrong chick at the time. You got all of these people still, bro. Prince Andrew is walking around unscathed, still rich. Y'all said, oh, he got kicked out of the royal family. Yeah, that nigga don't care. He don't care. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Bill Gates' wife divorced him. She was already old. What difference do it make at this point? He don't care. He walking around Africa and Switzerland, and he chilling. They like this. That interview ready? Okay, get the straight face on. These people don't care. They're going to be in Monaco next weekend. Slow motion. If Bill Gates decided that he just wanted to retire tomorrow, he's still Bill Gates at the end of the day. They Teflon. They don't care. They not even tripping. You see the level. Look at how he moving in this interview. He had a level of arrogance on him that was out of control.
I can't tell you any more than that.
Look, let me give Jeffrey Epstein some credit. Jeffrey Epstein, he held it down more than the dudes in the hood be. Y'all tell everything, just they give you a corned beef sandwich with sauerkraut, mustard, and Russian, and a Coke, and some chips, and some hot Cheetos. You telling on everybody. That's going to be the fall of the organization. Jeffrey Epstein, bro, he was in there like, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. Underage girls, what? He wasn't even tripping. He didn't even flinch, not even a little bit. He was slow motion, having a good time. He was probably in there like the mafia bosses. He didn't even trip. He didn't even blink. Not one time did he blink. He ain't snitch on nobody. He ain't do none of that. Hey, dog.
You don't know what you pled guilty to?
I just told
I'm
you.
going to object to form. That's asked and answered.
Do you know what you pled guilty to? The facts.
Solicitation of prostitution.
I understand that's the charge. What were the underlying facts?
Sorry.
What'd you do? Did you pull up in a car, talk to the person?
He's chilling. He's slow motion.
New evidence that appears to contradict the official account of what happened in Jeffrey Epstein's jail the night he died. We've studied surveillance video showing a glimpse of what may be a person in orange near Epstein's cell. FBI and Justice Department
right there.
refer to it.
He's right there. He's right there.
Authorities have insisted no one entered Epstein's cell tier at night before he died. Scott McFarlane has covered this case for many years. Scott, good morning. What are we learning?
Hey, Vlad, good morning. More than 6 years after the death of Jeffrey Epstein in a federal prison, the mystery over how he died remains very much alive.
Nobody confused.
New analysis of surveillance video by CBS News shows a partial view of what may be someone possibly headed up to Epstein's cell tier the night he died. Notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell in the early morning of August 10, 2019, inside this since-shuttered federal prison in Manhattan. And this was the vow of then Attorney General Bill Barr.
We will get to the bottom of what happened, and there will be accountability.
Epstein's death was quickly ruled a suicide, but a technical failure that left only one working camera near his cell that night has created conspiracy theories about what happened leading up to his death. At the time, the Attorney General said no one entered Epstein's housing tier the night of his death. But there's been scrutiny of a particular moment on the cell block surveillance footage where an orange-looking flash could be seen at 10:39 p.m.
Yeah, you're walking up the
A
stairs.
report from the Justice Department Inspector General notes the flash, quote, "It is possible someone is carrying inmate linen or bedding up the stairs." And the final report refers to it as, quote, "an unidentified corrections officer." But now, newly released Justice Department documents reveal an initial FBI review of surveillance video on the cell block says the flash could possibly be an inmate. And independent video analysts consulted by CBS News say the movement was more consistent with an inmate or someone wearing an orange prison uniform than a corrections officer. And prison employees tell CBS News it would have been highly unusual to move an inmate at 10:39 p.m. Jeffrey Epstein was found dead at 6:30 a.m. the following morning. And last year, then Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino insisted.
There's video clear as day.
Hey, Dan's
He's the only person in there.
Dan's hairline is wild.
6:30 a.m. the following morning. And last year,
Dan's hairline is crazy, bro. I've never seen a hairline like that in my entire life. Ever. I have never seen a hairline that just goes straight down like that. I ain't never seen no junk like that before in my life. It usually go bam and then go around like that. Dan's hairline is crazy, bro.
Then Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino insisted.
There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
Come on home, Dan.
A separate CBS.
Come on home, Dan. Dan, come on home, big dog. Time to come on home, bro. Because if you're not gonna go through the process of getting your hairline put back on with a with the hair follicle put back ends or whatever, if you ain't gonna do that, you might as well come on home, bro. Ain't no point in trying to mix it up and trying to figure it out and all of that. Come on home, Dan. I like Dan. I do. We've all had hair before. Some of us is not as fortunate to keep it. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, there's some theories. There's some theory that actually say that Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. I was looking at some of the stuff that my homeboy, Slim Dog Millionaire, I was just listening to what Slim was putting inside of the group chat. Slim don't believe he did. Let's see if I can think. Let me see if I can find Slim. I don't know if he's busy right now. I don't think Slimmy think he did. Warlord Slimmy don't think he did. Y'all don't think he did either? Wow. Y'all think he alive?
Your call has been for.
Y'all think he alive? So y'all don't think that somebody unalived him in there? I got more conspiracy theorists watchers inside of my chat than ever before. I don't know, man. Honestly, I genuinely don't know. I don't put nothing past anybody at this point. Challenge accepted, pretty boy. Pretty boy, stop. Stop, pretty boy. Stop. Stop. Bro, I'm taking ankles and I'm putting up shots. I'm taking ankles and I'm putting up shots. Y'all, listen. I'm telling y'all, it's not going to be what y'all thought it was. I know y'all be thinking to yourselves like, man, Anton can't be good at everything. I'm good at everything, bro. I'm good at everything. I'm snatching ankles. I'm putting shots in people's faces, and I'm making sure that everybody go home disappointed. I'm trying to tell you, everybody got to go. All right. Isoton is in the building. That's right, Chase Barnes. Facts. Aaron says, I know some chicks who will leave you. It ain't a woman in this world that can stop me on the basketball court. I stand by that. T Bunny says, hey, D, I'm so pissed right now. My son's high school had him I will be on fire. I didn't get now one call or text. He doesn't give a F about ICE. He just left school. He left school just because they violating our rights as parents. If you have the ability, I will put him in private school. Johnny Mack says, I don't know, AD. If Sonny put on him the Navajo 11s, you might be in trouble, especially since they got rings like Namor and Black Panther 2. El Brando saying, I seen a video of YouTuber talking about Epstein Fortnite account was still active. Not saying he alive, but Just a Brown Girl in America says, so Anton, you honestly think he's gone? Very plausible he's with Tupac somewhere unknown. I honestly, Just a Brown Girl in America, I don't know. I don't put nothing past it. Miss Sanchez says he's on an island watching the news with a drink, calling us some dummies. I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility. I honestly think that that may be a thing. He may be chilling on the island, having a good time, sipping Mai Tais. What a chick. I don't put it past him. I know one thing is for sure, though, because I know that we all get disappointed that people don't get the justice that they deserve. You know why I don't trip about that? Is because I truly believe in my heart that everything that you do negative to people on this earth, you're going to have to be accountable for that at some point in the future. And I'm not talking about on this earth. I'm talking about afterwards. I don't think that you get away with doing wrong stuff to people. I don't believe that. I believe that there is an accountability partner waiting for you on the other side, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I don't think that people just get away. I just don't. I saw something that he was in Tel Aviv, says Johnny. I don't believe that people just get away. Epstein on an island with Tupac smoking a blunt. Nope, I don't believe it. I don't believe that people just get away with it. So I'm not tripping about it. All right, Charles, what are we going to talk about next? So we got Epstein out of the way, TPUSA halftime show. I wanted to cover this. Oh, we got the ransom out of the way too. I was talking to Lex a little bit, and I wanted to cover this Chicago shooting of this woman that got killed in Chicago. Well, before I do that,
a 33-year-old man is dead after a suspected road rage shooting in Irving. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The shooting happened yesterday, shortly before 6 p.m. at Beltline Road and Finley Road. The other driver is now facing a murder charge. There were several witnesses who saw the rush hour shooting at a busy intersection. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with some of them tonight, and she just also got the affidavit too. Peyton.
Yeah, we have some new details tonight, but this is a very busy intersection here in Irving, especially at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. You have a Taco Bell, Starbucks, and a Walgreens behind me. We now know the victim was in the driver's seat. His two passengers were not injured, but they were key in identifying the suspect in this case, according to police.
The victim was in the passenger seat?
Multiple Irving drivers sent Fox 4 different angles of the scene of a Wednesday evening road rage shooting during rush hour.
Boom, 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 3 shots, and all of a sudden, the car is just sliding, and it comes to a complete stop.
Officers centered around a white sedan that stopped just short of North Beltline Road and Finley Road. Irving police responded to the intersection just before 6 p.m. Wednesday.
And there were just 3 shots, very consecutive, pop, pop, pop. So when the light turned green, most of the traffic started moving normally except for one vehicle. It was just...
That nigga look like Kevin Samuels. The fuck? This nigga look like Kevin Samuels. This nigga look like Kevin Samuels. What in the world? That's crazy. That is crazy. He looked just, I'm sorry, y'all, a little bit of derailment, but he looked just like Kevin Samuels. He don't talk like him, but he definitely got the same style, the same everything. Y'all said we all got a twin out here? That's what it seemed like. It seemed like everybody got a doppelganger. That's crazy.
Before 6 p.m. Wednesday.
And there was just 3 shots, very consecutive, pop, pop, pop. So when the light turned green, most of the traffic started moving normally except for one vehicle. It was just
like
rolling very slowly. And we all kind of looked at each other like, I hope that's not what we think it is.
33-year-old Yordwaudy Sanchez was found inside a vehicle suffering from a gunshot wound. He later died at the hospital. 2 passengers were in the victim's vehicle at the time of the shooting. These 2 witnesses told police they were traveling southbound on Beltline Road when a male driving a pickup truck with a speaker in the truck bed was driving erratically behind them. They said once they approached the red light, the male in the pickup pulled next to them, began yelling at them, pulled out a firearm, and opened fire into their sedan. The truck then took off. Shelby Dillon, a nearby business owner, doesn't remember hearing honking, only 3 gunshots back to back.
It was out of nowhere. It was kind of like that's why I said probably a split decision by the guy.
Traffic cameras and license plate readers captured the truck, registered to 62-year-old Kenneth Nixon, who was arrested just a few hours later. According to a newly obtained affidavit, Nixon admitted he fired multiple times and that he went home to hide the firearm in the backyard. The 2 witnesses in the white sedan later identified Nixon in a police lineup. The 62-year-old charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and murder.
It's too close to home to know that.
Let me tell you something, bro. If Kenneth Nixon went pop, pop, pop right there at the traffic light, just based off of a road rage incident, because see, what they're not telling you is that they probably had words with each other. Somebody probably got cut off. They was feeling some type of way or whatever. And if Kenneth was willing to do this easy, let me tell you something, bro. Kenneth been a menace his entire life. Kenneth Nixon has been a menace his entire life. This ain't the first time that he did it. This ain't the first time that he got involved in something. This is one of the first times that he got caught. Kenneth Nixon has been a monster his entire life. And this is what I keep trying to tell people. I keep saying this. I'm going to keep screaming it to the rooftop. And I'm going to keep telling y'all over and over and over and over again. Do not underestimate anybody. Look, bro, it's a scrawny dude walking down the street right now, awkward, with earphones on. And that nigga probably a serial killer. It's a woman right now that's walking around free, and she probably didn't poison her boyfriend. You will not believe how many people that you pass every single day that are diabolical. They got somebody locked up in the basement that's fucking on a niece, that's setting the dude up right now. You would not believe how many people are walking around monsters. So that's why, and this is the common misconception in the culture, right? Is that it's always the dude that do all of the talking and the woofing. Say it again, say it again. Let me tell you something. Niggas that don't, I know people in real life that's getting talked off the ledge because in their mind, and they'll sit there and you'll say something to them and say, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. And in their mind, they already turn red and they trying to figure out if they can figure out how to find out where you live, because they're going to run in your crib and break everything down. They not woofing. They not going back and forth with you. All of that tough talk shit. They don't give a fuck about it. They don't need no battery in their bag. I know niggas that are satisfied. In real life, I know people that are satisfied with the results and don't care if anybody know what happened. Look, bro, some of the most polite people that you've ever met in your entire life, they look like dads. They are dads. They play with their grandkids. Listen, bro, listen. They look like dads. They play with their grandkids. They're very vigilant about spending time with their wife. They may even seem like a simp. And it's not that they really a simp, is that they need something to continue to keep them sane and cool. And they ain't did nothing in years. But it was a time in their life to where they pray that they never ever go back to the thing that they used to be. There are some people walking around that don't fuck around, and you underestimate them. You think that they soft. You think that because it ain't the nigga that's the loudest. It's not the dude that bark the most. It's not the one that make the most stress. It's, you know who I fear? I fear the nigga that don't say nothing. There's one statement that I just can't ever get over, and it's when a nigga say, all right, you got it. You know what? You're right. You got it. Like, no, you know what? Actually, I was wrong about that situation. You know what? It wasn't you. It was me. I apologize. Is it something that I can do? Let me buy you something to eat. I'm not about to sit here and play around with these niggas. It's people in real life that don't mess around. All of this tough talk. I don't even get, I'm not arguing with nobody at the traffic light. That's why I keep my my tent on my truck. I keep it moving. I'm not, that's why when I see certain things, I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about, bro. I'm on, man, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? And I keep it moving. Crazy. Get into it at a traffic light and just go pop, pop, pop and kill niggas. And you're not getting away with it nowadays either, because they got traffic cams. They got all of that type of stuff. They tracking your license plate back to where you was. He just snapped. He probably done killed multiple different people, probably beating on hoes, all kind of stuff. Ain't it crazy, our streets? Streets, I see you in the chat. Think about this, our streets. There's a guy that is going to come up to y'all and he gonna say, Hey, what's going on? What's your name? You so cute. You don't know if this nigga actually killed somebody or not. You don't know if he actually chained somebody up to the radiator or not. You don't know nothing about him. You know nothing about these niggas. It's so dangerous walking outside every day. The only reason that we see it as sane, or the only reason that we're not going crazy, is because we have this perception that everything is safe. It's demons and devils walking around all day long. It's demons and devils walking around all day long. It's a nigga that beat the shit out of his wife and she got out alive, and he walking around and he suited and booted and he said, "What's up, baby? What's your name?" Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn it to keep your head on the swivel. It's a lot of killers around here. It's a lot of demonic people around here. Facts, my brother was a terror to me in the early 20s, moved to New Jersey, and he almost lost his life in a motorcycle accident, and then got cancer. Shout out to Patrick Fobbs. Boomer still setting us back, says AR is back. Remember, y'all, the Q show is not tonight. It is moved to Wednesday. Tonight, we got a Patreon live stream. The Q show is not tonight. It is on Wednesday. We got a Patreon live stream tonight. And then over the next few weeks, I'm going to be putting together a new show that's going to be on Monday on Room 9. All right? All right? Crazy. I want to move on to this other story real quick, and it's been fascinating me, and I don't know why I haven't covered it yet. Me and Lex is kind of interested in it, but it was a shooting, and it was a woman killed near a church in Chicago, and the baby survived the shooting.
A young mother is dead after being shot while she was in a car on the city's south side. Police say her baby survived that shooting unharmed. Hello again, everyone, on this Thursday morning. I'm Patrick Elwood.
And I'm Dina Bair. Thank you for joining us. WGN's Angelica Sanchez is live in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood with the latest on the investigation. Angelica?
Pat and Dina, nothing short of a miracle is how the baby's condition is being described, as those that were on the scene tell us that there were actual bullet casings found in the baby's car seat. Crime Stoppers is now offering a reward for any information that could lead to an arrest. Skycab 9 flies over the 7900 block of South May Street.
Seems like all of these cars are the same. It's a Malibu or a Honda Accord, and they all white. All of these cars. Is it me, or am I the only person that noticed stuff like this? Because if you go back to the road rage incident at a car that was shot that was in the middle of the street, it was a white, like Honda Accord or something. Is it me, or all of these cars look the same as getting shot up?
Street, where a white vehicle riddled with bullet holes has collided with a nearby GMC van. Officers located two victims inside the car, a 26-year-old woman and a 27-year-old man. The female victim was struck multiple times and passed away from her injuries, while the male victim is expected to survive.
It's like something out of a war zone.
The female victim is identified as 26-year-old Gabrielle Ayers. Cook County Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to the person or persons responsible for her murder. Multiple people pulled over or ran over to try and help them. To everyone's shock, the victim's daughter, a baby girl.
That car is shot the fuck up. Look at the doors. Look at all of the bullet holes all over that car. Yo, man, listen. They keep on trying to glorify the streets. The streets don't love you. The streets don't love anybody. The streets don't have no kind of remorse for anybody. They shooting up cars with babies in them. They're shooting up cars with babies in them. There are no more rules on the streets. You can't play by the same rules as everybody else. It's never been more awesome to be a lame. It has never been more awesome to be a lame than it is right now. And I use that word figuratively because I know that that's what the tough guys like to say. These lames. That's what they like to say we are. No, but you know what we are? We don't have any shows being canceled. We don't have any baby mamas talking negatively about us. We don't have any illegitimate children nowhere. We doing well, we happy, we healthy, we rich. We don't have no problems in our household. It has never been a better time to be what they would call a quote unquote lame. You're a winner. You can get as much box as you want. You can make as much money as you want. You free. You can go walk up and down the street. You ain't messed up. You ain't on drugs. You ain't being none of that. Don't let these niggas try to trick you out of your bag. Don't let these people trick you out of your bag. It ain't never been a sucker move to be a lame.
Or ran over to try and help them. To everyone's shock, the victim's daughter, a baby girl, was located unharmed in her car seat.
It's a miracle with all the gunshot wounds on that car on both sides and all the shooting that took place, that baby was spared and nothing. God must have a plan for that baby.
The shooting unfolded not far from St. Sabina Church and their nearby food pantry. Leo High School is also in close proximity. Father Michael Flager says he was there too and has also seen videos circulating on social media showing more than one shooter targeting the car. He says the shooters have no soul.
These guys just coming out with all with long guns. Just
let me see something. Because I got a video. I know y'all said y'all sent it to me. It was going around on social media. It was a short. This it right here. Azriel. These niggas ain't got no heart. They don't give a fuck, bro. They don't care. See, and you know what the funny part about it is? It all sounds cool when we say it, when it's, when we talk about it in the music and we bop our head to it and it's all cool until you actually get to see it in real life. Somebody said you can show that. This is courtesy of Fox. This is Fox 32 on YouTube. This is Fox 32. Literally, this is Fox Chicago. It's crazy. Crazy. It is out of control. So now the question becomes, what's the true motive? Why would they go out and shoot this girl like this? What's really happening?
This happened in the middle of the afternoon on a busy stretch of all of this.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
A child believed to be...
Hold on, let me see something.
Her OPS online had given someone a chilling... Unaware that the taunting wound, her infant daughter secured in a car seat behind her. Unaware that the taunting words she had typed to her OPS online had given someone a chilling...
Her OPS, ops. You can always tell when AI is talking because is this what she was posting online?
motive that would soon play out in the most brutal way imaginable. Within moments, masked figures leaving Gabrielle Gianna Ayres dead and her baby miraculously untouched by the hail of gunfire that shattered every window of their vehicle. Before we dive deep into this tragic case that shows just how
I don't give a F about no B posting that crib. I'm moving. I'll be outside. I ain't finna bump no keyboards. Thank you. Goodbye. See? Y'all better stay away from these little hood rat hoes, bro. Y'all better stay away from these little hood rat hoes. She up here posting. They invested in stuff. They got stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? They showing their middle part bust down and all of that stuff. And they out here. The women is participating in the bullshit way more than the guys. The women, y'all better start profiling these women. I don't give a fuck what her middle part bust down is. I don't care what her hair is. I don't care how young she is. That little hoe gonna get you jammed up, bro. She gonna get you jammed up. Y'all better stay away from these little hood rats, bro. Go get you. That's why I believe that older women, though not innocent, they're less likely to have your life taken away from you. The older ones, they survive. They understand the play now. The younger one's gonna get you jammed up. Her boyfriend ain't emotionally stable. You fucking on her. She getting caught because now or maybe she said, that's why I'm fucking somebody else. Nah, he getting you jammed. No. Stay away from these little hood rats, bro. They are going to get you jammed up. You are going to be on the news. On the news. She talking tough. Remember what I told y'all? Y'all don't even remember what I'm about to say, do y'all? What did I tell y'all to do? I said vet their social media. I said before, there are guys nowadays that actually pay for a service. I told y'all this before. They pay for a service for people to go out and vet the social media of the women that they might get into a relationship with because they need to know everything about them. And most of the time, between all of your social media, it could put together a picture of who you really are in real life. There are people, guys, that have resources. I'm telling you, there are guys that have resources that vet out the type of people that they would then be in a relationship with so that they don't get themselves involved in something that they're not supposed to be in. Somebody says it is obvious it was a hit. They only wanted to get her. We don't know that. And it don't even matter because you just so happen to be the person in the car with her. You the residual effect. He got shot up too. He got shot up too. He didn't escape. The baby is the one, the baby gonna suffer the most because the baby got to grow up knowing that her mother got killed, right? And she gonna have this generational trauma that she's gonna project on every other guy that she get into a relationship going forward. The baby is the only one that's gonna suffer the most. The mama is killed. The boyfriend got shot. Cool, it was a hit. Don't matter. He just so happened to be in the car with her. You just so happen to be the person that's next to her at the time that it happened. And so that's why you are in this situation also. I'm telling you, y'all better stay away from these little hood rats. Look at this. Nope. Never. Everything about this is red flag. Everything about this picture is red flag. All of it. Red flag. Yeah, I'm out of this. I wouldn't want to be bothered with this. I'm straight. I wouldn't want no parts of this type of life. I'm telling you, man, we got to start. Y'all got to start profiling. Y'all got to start profiling, man, because you are going to get jammed up in some stuff that you're not supposed to be a part of. Profiling saves lives. I know a lot of people don't believe it. I know a lot of people think that everybody deserves a chance at love. Not with you. The same way that the women need to profile the guys is the same way that the guys need to profile the women. You walking around, this guy think you cute, he willing to buy you a drink, that nigga's a serial killer. That nigga beat hoes. He beat chicks. I remember, bro, when I was in high school, middle school, high school, and there were guys that used to come up to the high school because, you know, they had cars and stuff. And so they was way out. Like, these ain't even guys that just recently graduated. These might have been guys that been out of school for a period of time, right? And so they used to come up there, you know, try to scoop them up a little high school chick. These niggas are still walking around with families today. They walking around with families. They escaped the social media era. It's a lot of people. There are so many people that escaped the social media era. And boy, because it wasn't no phones, not no camera phones, wasn't no social media, none of that shit. It's a lot of niggas that's walking around. And the only reason that they free today, or the only reason they operate in the way that they operate today, is because it wasn't no social media back then. It's a lot of people that can't move the way that you thought that they was going to move if they was born in the time that exists right now. I'm keeping it 100 with you. They got families. They girl don't even know the type of life that these niggas used to live. They homies don't know the type of life that they used to live. You keep calling him Unc. What's up, Unc? That nigga's a predator. He a predator. What's up, Unc? That nigga's a rapist, bro. I'm telling you. You gonna get into a relationship. Let me tell y'all what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna get into a relationship with a girl. Unc was fucking on her when she was 13, nigga. Chick's been abused. Chick's been taken advantage of. All kind of shit. Ain't never healed. None of that type of stuff. That's why you see these hoes crashing out on social media today. I want to tell on my mama's boyfriend from back in the day. Story time. Like, fuck. Telling you. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Yep, like when Sue Surf was snapping, calling folks. Yeah, he was calling Joe Budden in them lane. I remember that. Ain't Sue Surf locked up? Ain't Sue Surf locked up when he was calling Joe Budden in them lane?
Like this nigga, bro. This nigga. You got people trying to kill you in Jersey, so you gotta be tenant. I get it.
I think that Surf was he was calling Joe Budden in them lane, wasn't he? Or he was on an interview. It was some interview where he was talking about everybody was lame. I don't remember what it was. But he got hit with the RICO. I don't remember what it was.
Hey, we are.
You got blanked up.
That was Ice do the now where he look over at the computer to see what.
I just feel like I don't think it's for everybody. All niggas y'all out here shooting who this is pizza. I should give a fuck about how pizza tastes. Exactly. How does the pizza? I've been like soft crust pizza, but all
agree with you. Scenario in this side of the argument, thinking happened on. For me, you did.
No button, skinny as hell, ain't he? Anyways, moving on. Shout out to Wesley Turner. Lamar on air says, "Man, I thought they was filming an episode of Chicago PD when how they got the wave in a street sweeper like that. Super wild. The KKK just crossed their arms and watch. Facts. They probably donate to the YNs." Johnny Mack says, "Did you talk about the James Pierce Jr. from Atlanta Falcons? What happened to James Pierce Jr.?" I got to look up what happened to James Pierce Jr. James Pierce Jr. Oh, he was arrested in Florida on battery charges? Let's see. YouTube, what it do? James Pierce Jr., huh?
The NFL star linebacker charged with domestic violence and battery on a law enforcement officer has now posted bond. You see right here how it took a handful of police officers to arrest James Pierce Jr. after he led them on a wild chase through Doral. He hopes to walk out of jail at any moment. Local 10 broke this story exclusively Saturday night.
And the Doral police chief told Local 10 when his officers tried to arrest Pierce for domestic violence against his girlfriend, a professional athlete herself, he took off in her car. We have Local 10's Magdala Louisant live in Southwest Miami-Dade waiting for Pierce to walk out of jail any minute now. But what we can tell you is what he said to the judge today.
Yes, he didn't have much to say, but he did say he understands when the judge told him to stay away from Rakea Jackson. And when Mr. Pierce does walk out of TGK, his attorneys say he is going to Atlanta.
The aggravated battery with a deadly weapon to wet the car. They're two separate incidents.
Atlanta Falcons linebacker James Pierce Jr. is used to wearing red and black. Today, he's in an orange jumpsuit facing a Miami-Dade County judge. The 22-year-old NFL star appearing via Zoom after a chaotic arrest in Doral. One of Pierce's attorneys attempts to defend him, mentioning where he works, but the judge quickly makes it clear his NFL status doesn't carry weight here.
The reason why I said who he is so you understand that he's not a flight risk.
Sorry, but I don't think you understand. I have no care about what his employment is. Okay? I have an individual charged with a crime. Sure.
And that brings the NFL rookie to this moment where he's facing multiple felony charges, aggravated battery, domestic violence, stalking, and aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer. Videos shared with Local 10 show of at least 6 Doral police officers struggling to take down the 6'5", 245-pound linebacker.
Let me tell you something, bro. This is how people get killed, bro. Honestly. Man, ain't nobody wrestling with no 6'5", 250-pound nigga. Man, is you crazy? 6'5", 250? Man, if you don't get your big ass in these cuffs, and you a linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons, man, no, nigga, Man, they be trying to talk about what you gonna do. What you mean what I'm gonna do? Nigga, this is why they gotta carry a concealed pistols license. I'm about to sit here and go back and forth with you. 6'5", 250? Man, he every bit of 275. You ain't gonna convince me that this nigga muscle. And he young, he a rookie. I don't believe he 245. I think that's what they got him listed as. I think he 270 all day long, straight muscle. I think he 270 all day long, every day of the week, 275. Get the hell out of here, bro. He tall and he big.
Doral Police Chief Edwin Lopez tells Local 10 the incident began with a domestic dispute between Pierce and WNBA Los Angeles Sparks superstar Rakea Jackson at the Doral police station. Lopez says when officers tried to arrest Pierce, he took off in Jackson's car, sparking a chase that ended in a gated Doral neighborhood. Jackson is in South Florida playing for a team in the offseason. The judge told Pierce to stay away from Jackson and do not communicate with her.
Do you have any need to return to pick up any personal belongings?
Judge, I would just leave everything there. Whatever's there, it can stay there. It's fine.
So It don't sound like he's a complete idiot. It sounds like, let me tell you something, bro. Did you see how intelligent he sounded? Listen, he's not an imbecile.
Judge, I would just leave everything there. Whatever's there, it can stay there. It's fine.
All right, so then now I got the whole picture. Now I got the whole picture. I figured it out. Millionaire Morning Show profiling is in the building. I figured it out. Yep, he's not an imbecile. Nope, he's not dealing with CTE. Nope. We all figured it out. Kevin, it's right in front of our face. Every nigga, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how wise you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter what your career is, you could be a lawyer, you could be an entertainer, you could be a rapper, you could be a doctor. Everybody, if you don't get yourself in control, a woman is going to have you crashing out. I have never, ever. He has boxalitis. Thank you. Finally, somebody said it. Nigga, boxalitis will have you up at night. Mad at a chick because she got a nigga offered to be her trainer. Nigga, boxalitis will have you. Bro, you don't even know who you are until you start to crash out over a woman, bro. I've seen them all. Coaching calls, AD, what am I supposed to do? All of this other type of stuff. I've seen niggas lose their minds over a woman. Lose their minds. You worked your whole life. And boy, you can't stand the idea of another nigga talking to your chick. Somebody says this girl isn't even, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of that shit. None of that shit matters. If you want to know why a nigga is over there acting like the Incredible Hulk and it take 8 people to take him down and take the Avengers to get him, this nigga's over a woman. Ain't nothing else. There's no other reason why the Incredible Hulk. Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Patreon live stream tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to put it up in a couple of hours after because you know what, when I get off the live stream, I've been up for a little while. I'm going to take a little nappy nap, and then I'm going to get back up, and we're going to get back to it, all right? You love the heart on the screen? Love wins. Love wins. I want to talk about renting versus buying, because some people are saying renting is less expensive than owning a home, according to American City's large study. ABC is doing an article on it. They saying is it rent or is it better to own? So a lot of people going back and forth about this. Is renting less expensive than home ownership? Trump is talking about housing. I'm going to give y'all the game. I'm going to tell you exactly whether you should rent or whether you should buy. All right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
A big question facing young adults planning for their future is, in this economy, is it better to rent or to buy a home? A new analysis from LendingTree shows renting is less expensive than owning a home in all 100 of the largest U.S. metro areas. Researchers say homeowners with a mortgage are paying roughly 37% more money per month than renters. For more, let's bring in the CEO of Rently, Merrick Lackner. Merrick, thanks for joining us. Another new study from the National Association of Realtors shows that home prices increased in 73% of American metro areas during the fourth quarter of last year. It also shows the Midwest has the lowest average home price at $317,000. So how do you look at all those numbers? How do you look at the map? And is the Midwest the place where it's sort of worth it to buy?
Yeah, we're truly in, and thank you for having me, in unprecedented history here. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has noted that if the cost to service a mortgage is more than 30% of gross income, and gross income, the average household income in America is about $83,000. The cost of a home now is $410,000 to $430,000, and homeownership is costing a lot more. So at this time, renting is definitely a route that is becoming more and more palatable for many Americans. And the savings over the course of a year are significant. I mean, $500 a month, but up to $1,500 a month in major markets like San Francisco and elsewhere can save a renter $6,000, $10,000, $20,000, which over time, if renting for several years, could serve as the base for a mortgage payment.
So let's look at it from an emotional perspective and a lifestyle perspective, and then let's look at it from a mathematical perspective. Because some people will say, oh man, you should always buy, you should always buy, you should always buy. It's not true. You have to remember that most people that bought a home, and this is the context that's missing. Most people that bought homes, even back in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, and in the 80s and the 70s, interest rates were crazy. Let me see something. Average. I ain't doing all that. Let's just do this. What was the average interest rate for American homes in the 70s? And then also tell me what it was in the 80s.
In the 70s, the average interest rates generally ranged from about 7% to over 11% by the end of the decade. The 80s saw a significant spike, with rates peaking in the high teens before gradually decreasing towards the end of that period, but still typically staying above the 10% mark. Are you interested in specific years within those decades?
Give me 1982, because that was the year that I was born.
In 1982, the average interest rate for American homes was quite high, averaging around 16.06%. That was right in the peak years of the high interest rates of the 80s. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about that year?
No, I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else about mortgage rates or housing market trends you're curious about?
Nope, I appreciate you. That's it.
You're very welcome.
So, interest rates in the 80s, yes, a lot of people don't want to have this conversation because what they will try to tell you is that, oh my God, homes was cheaper back then and all that. No, interest rates were 16%. The average interest rate on a mortgage in 1982, where you keep complaining that everything was cheaper, was 16%. And guess where they bought their houses? They didn't buy their houses in the suburbs. They didn't buy their houses in the middle of downtown. They bought their houses in the what you would define as the hood. They bought their houses in the spaces that you don't want to buy a house in today. So when we first have to better understand our history before we start making assessments, okay? We have to first understand our history before we start making assessments. Interest rates were astronomical. Gas prices out of control. Layoffs was crazy. My dad hated the 80s. He used to tell me he hated the 80s. Oh, he hated the 80s. So the first thing that you have to consider is, are you making an emotional decision? Because nowadays, the reason that they were okay with paying interest rates and stuff like that was because they were looking at that as their forever home. They didn't look at homes as, oh man, this is my net worth. That's some newer shit where you start getting people that were selling courses on the internet. They looked at that as a house where they can retire in, hopefully pass on to their children, and raise a family in. That was where they was looking to have Thanksgiving dinners. That was where they was looking to do the barbecue. They didn't look at a house as an investment. They looked at a house as a place for them to be able to live. So they're not looking to extract value out of the house until more creative financing came about and they convinced y'all to tear up y'all houses and refinance it to death, and then eventually you lost it. But that was supposed to be the house that you inherited, and that's why he took such good care of it. He didn't take such good care of the house because, oh man, this is an investment property. He took good care of the house, and he always cut his grass, and he always maintained it, and he was always painting it. He was always doing the things that was best for the house. And even though you notice how back in the 80s, like in 2016 through 2026, you know if you poor or not. We didn't know that we was poor because we took care of the house and we cut the grass and we swept off the concrete and we planted flowers, and nobody knew that they was poor because you really wasn't poor. You just had a strong community, and it was the neighborhood watch signs. And you all knew your neighbors, and everybody played basketball, and we played football in the street and hide and go get it, and you actually knew the people. Nobody felt like there was anything other than whatever they was because everybody actually took care of their stuff, and the quality of life was better because we actually cared about our stuff. Now we live in an Instagram world, right? A world where they're selling all of these courses. They're trying to teach you how to get rich quick. So what happens is we have a fear of missing out, or hey, they living in a multi-million-dollar house over here or whatever. And we not really watering the grass where we at. So we always got, it don't matter where we at. We always, oh man, I got to go over here. Oh man, I got to go over here. That's where we at. We got this mindset where we missing out on something instead of appreciating where we at. So comparatively, they looked at homes as shelter. We look at homes as a part of our net worth. That's the difference. They wasn't looking at the value of their home. They was looking to pay it off as soon as possible so that they could retire. That's one of the fastest way to retire. The fastest way to retire is not just to have as much money saved as possible. The fastest way to retire is not to require all of your income in order to ensure that you have the lifestyle that you want. So we overfinance, we overbuy homes, we pay more than we have to for spaces that we don't even use. And then we say, well, we want to retire in 30 years, but your home not going to be paid off in 30 years. Most people that are able to retire don't have a mortgage. So I look at it a little bit differently. When you say, should you rent or should you buy? It depends on the lifestyle that you live. Do you plan on keeping this home for the next 10 to 15 years minimum? If so, then I think that you should buy. And I think that you should buy in an area where you're looking to be at for a long time. People, when they bought their houses, they never planned on moving. We plan on moving every other year, depending on the hoe that we talking to at the time, or the lifestyle that we think that we're missing out on in Houston and Atlanta. Now, renting on the flip side, because both of them are the same, honestly. I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. Both of them are the same if you're not just looking at it just from a financial perspective. Because I'll give you an example. You can find places to rent for much cheaper, especially considering that the people that got the mortgage got it a lot earlier, so they're able to lease it out to you a lot cheaper than if you were to buy it, right? Then if you buy the property, a lot of times they reassess the property values, which is one of the reasons why you pay so much more in property taxes than the people that had it for the last 30 to 40 years. So you're getting it at a much cheaper rate. Now, let's consider the opposite, right? Let's say that you pay $1,000 more a month than if you rent it. Now let's extrapolate that, right? Because now you're talking about $12,000 a year and you don't have any maintenance. You're paying $1,000 more a month in order to buy the property. Now, I'm not including property taxes. I'm not including insurance. I'm not including maintenance. I'm not including repairs. I'm not including anytime you have to replace something, you want to redecorate, all of this other stuff, you're paying more, right? Over time, you're going to probably be paying more as far as the initial costs of whatever it takes in order to continue to maintain this property, all included, right? Because your mortgage is going to also include your insurance. They're going to have an escrow account in order for you, HOA fees. It's a lot of things that go into it, right? Now, let's look at it from a renter's perspective. Let's say a renter is paying $500, $600, $700 a month less to rent it, but they don't actually have the deed. Now, let's extrapolate that, right? That's the equivalent of anything from $7,000 to $10,000, $12,000 a year, depending on what the difference is. Now, imagine that you actually put that in an investment account. Let's not put it in an investment account. Let's just assume that you just stacked it and you didn't make any money off of that whatsoever. In 10 years, that's the difference between about $60,000 and $100,000 a year in the difference. In 30 years, that's the difference between $150,000, $160,000 and $300,000 to $350,000 over the course of 30 years. Now, if you're investing that money, then you're making money 10 times over. If you're getting a mortgage, but you continue to refinance and all of this, at the end of 30 years, you're actually paying more than double of whatever it was that you financed. Now, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't buy. I'm just telling you that the math tells the story. So if you're looking to get into a place that you're going to keep forever, stop looking at it as an investment and start looking at it as shelter. If you're buying property to rent out, then you can start looking at that as an investment because you're actually taking into consideration and you get all of the write-offs and you taking into consideration what it costs to repair, maintain, pay property taxes, and you get the return on your investment, right? So all I'm telling you is that it depends on what you want and depends on your lifestyle. Some people don't want to stay in the same place for the next 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Some people actually want to go and move to a different city, or they prefer to be downtown, or they don't want the maintenance that's involved in it. They don't want to deal with grass. They don't want to deal with repairs. They don't want to deal with roof leaking and all of this stuff. So some people just want a simple lifestyle. But the only problem with those type of people that rent is that they don't take the difference and invest it. They go and use the money to continue to maintain some other form of their lifestyle. They get a bigger car. They start to get more services. They do all of this stuff. So what I would suggest to people is first make the assessment of what you want your lifestyle to be. The second thing that I would suggest to people to do is to make sure that you set a clear-cut budget and you dollar cost average, which is a lot of what we talk about inside of the Patreon, but you dollar cost average the investing that you're making, not a savings, but an investing that you're making so that you can get a return on your money, and then it compounds over a period of time. Whatever your number is should not be based off of what you can afford. It's based off of what you want to pay. So if you only want to pay $1,500 a month and you saying, well, listen, the house that it would afford for me to be able to pay $1,500 a month versus the place where I want to live at, maybe I have to get a smaller place, but I can have a lifestyle. Don't let that affect your savings. Don't let that affect how much. I don't give a fuck about what a realtor tells you what you can afford. Oh, you make this much per year, so this is how much you need to be paying. And no, pick a number, stick with the number, find the thing that you want based off of the lifestyle that you want to live, and live blissfully. That's what you should do. It's not about renting. It's not about buying. It's about lifestyle. It's not about renting. It's not about buying. You're going to come out like this, even if you do both. Over a period of time, most of the time, you're going to come out like this. You're not going to be ahead one way or another. And so the thing that you want to say is what I want to pay, what do I want my lifestyle to be, and do I either want to stay here for the rest of my life or do I want to jump around? Am I looking at this as an investment property, or is this something that I'm actually going to live in for the rest of my life? Am I going to raise kids here, or am I eventually going to leave? All of this stuff. Hello. Yes, ma'am. You are already. I don't know why. What's the number that you need? $35,000? Well, what kind is it? All right, we'll talk about it in a little bit. All right. Anyways, yeah, man, it depends on the life that you want to live. For me, any property that I buy outside of any place that I would live in, I would look at it as an investment. Anything that I planned on keeping, as far as what I would live in personally, I would look at that as a home. I wouldn't look at it as an investment. So you just got to figure out what you want to do. If you plan on selling a home within the next 10 years, then I wouldn't make it a big deal. Even when it comes to the real estate prices and the fees and all of that stuff, you're going to wind up spending a bag, honestly. All right? And that's true, beans, greens. A lot of people, older people, once they raise their kids and they looking to actually retire, not even when they were looking to retire, a lot of times they just downsize. Jay says, Anton, where would you live besides Detroit for long term? It's only one place that I would pick to live. It's only one place that I would pick to live long term outside of Detroit. I plan on being in Detroit, hopefully, for the rest of my life. But the only other place that I found, but I can't see myself living there simply because the taxes is out of control and all of that stuff. That's a fact. Never LA. San Diego, man. La Jolla is so slow motion, it's chill. La Jolla is California without the bullshit, without the gangs, without the none of that stuff. San Diego, oh my God, dog. Y'all got me melting in my seat just thinking about it. San Diego, man. It's the only other place that I would ever consider. So this is what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm coming up with a plan, y'all. I think what I'm going to do is this. I think I'm going to buy a place. Damn. I think I'm going to buy a winter place in La Jolla. I'm thinking that. I think I'm going to buy a winter place out there. And so I'm going to spend 4 months out there. And I'm going to spend 7 months back here. Because I like the spring. I like spring, fall, and summer here. And I like winters there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Anton, what about Miami or Tampa? I don't want to own nothing in Florida. I don't want to own nothing in California, but I want a place that I love Mississippi too, bro. I do love Mississippi. The thing about Florida is that I can't fuck with the hurricanes, bro, and the roaches. Y'all keep calling them water bugs, man. Y'all keep calling them water bugs. Those is roaches. I'm not built for roaches, bro. I'm not built for that. I don't like that shit, bro. There ain't no water bugs that car them as roaches, bro. They keep on lying and acting like those. Nah, nigga, them is roaches. And I don't fuck with roaches. And I don't fuck with hurricanes either. I don't mess with hurricanes. You know what I want to go visit? I'm going to go visit, I think I'm going to take a weekend trip and go visit San Antonio. I'm going to just shoot down there and just see what's happening down there. I've been wanting to see because I visited Houston. I visited Dallas. I've never been to San Antonio. I need to see more places. I love Mississippi. I adore La Jolla because it's so chill. And that water overlooking the ocean, like, this is crazy. I'm looking for places that's not on the map. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily need all of the visibility of a big city in the wintertime. I just need something to be able to chill out in. Dallas is really liberal. Dallas is super liberal. I like Dallas more than I like Houston. But Dallas is interesting. Maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll do Austin and San Antonio. What's happening this weekend? Maybe I'll do them both this weekend. Let me see. Dallas and San Antonio. What's the weather in Dallas and San Antonio right now? San Antonio weather. It's 77. This is the weather in San Antonio right now? Sheesh. This the weather in San Antonio right now? Oh, dog. All right, let me see something. Flights. Let's figure this out, y'all. San Antonio, Texas. Let's go first. When we flying out Wednesday? Actually, let's do this. Let's go multi-city, Detroit to San Antonio on Wednesday. San Antonio to Austin on Saturday. Friday, Saturday. And then we can go Austin to Detroit on Monday. All right. Y'all ain't said nothing but a word to me. San Antonio. Flights are so late. Why is the flight so late? That's the only thing. I would have to do the Millionaire Morning Show later in the day because I don't want to take the late flight. You know what I'm saying? Say you took a morning flight. They don't have no flights, no Delta flights from San Antonio to Austin? It's crazy. And San Antonio to Austin, Austin back to Detroit. We could do this one, 4 p.m. 2,600, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Remember, we got a Patreon live stream tonight. And we're going to get it in. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.